Be 21 or older to use Caesars Sportsbook. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. Please play responsibly.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Welcome to the Lowdown. Today's show, Elks game just hours away. Well, maybe a few hours away. CFL week starts, though, tonight. Rumblings from the Oilers camp. There's a signing and a coach added to the organization. NFL preseason football bores millions, and the Jays are winning. Are you ready for this? If they actually get a few more wins playing today, we can talk about not making the playoffs. I mean, even more passionately than we're doing now. Lowdown with Lowetide brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick on Sports 1440 and YouTube. They're overstocked at Wolf GMC Buick and making room with a massive summer clearance. Plus, employee pricing continues. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. Headliner of the day, bagged milk and the new rebranded site that bagged milk works with. And we'll talk to him at 1 o'clock today. We also have declinations. We're live on sports1440.ca, iHeartRadio, and Radio Player Canada, as well as YouTube and Sports 1440. After the show, we're on Apple and Spotify podcast. We tweet it out on X or on Twitter at Lowetide, at Declan Krueger, and JFenwick04. Text anytime, 833-401-1440. That's 833-401-1440. We're talking Elks, Jays, Oiler, goalie, assigning, and coach added to the Bakersfield Condors and NFL preseason. Wow. I got a couple of NFL guys who are going to be so happy to talk about the preseason. Okay, we have two introductions today. He's having a hell of a summer. Found his girl. Got a new car. Mike Trout is hitting home runs. Jays are back in it, baby, which is fortunate because the Cincinnati Bengals are getting ready to break his heart one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick, everybody.
Yeah, they'll probably win another 9 games this year. Joe Burrow might lose an ACL. No, what are we talking about? They're going to win 13 games. Joe Burrow is going to throw for 5,000 yards. He's going to win his MVP.
Does he make it to game 2 healthy?
Yes. Yes, he does. He makes it to game 18 healthy, or 17, I guess. He makes it to week 18 healthy.
Okay, so then he'll be hurt in the playoffs.
No, don't forget, this is the guy that got sacked 7 times in his first ever playoff game and still won.
Well, I wish you luck. I really do.
Yeah.
He's having a hell of a summer, including a trip to Italy, a Rough Rider road trip. He hasn't screwed up with his girl, which is fortunate because the Buffalo Bills are getting ready to break his heart again. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger, everybody.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Well,
I've said it, 95% of being a sports fan is just being a loser.
No, it stays with you. I still remember Rick Monday's home run in 1981. I absolutely remember it like it was yesterday. I remember the Islanders. Islanders played well in 83. They just couldn't win the Stanley Cup. Islanders won that one. Game 7 in 06, Game 7 in 24, and Game 6 in 25. Remember those like forever. And as an Eagles fan, I remember the Raiders against the Eagles and Tom Flores and the Jim Plunkett and the Raiders just, I think it was 41-6, maybe that's something like that. 1981, I believe. The first Eagles tip to the Super Bowl. It was just awful. All right, so a few things to talk about. I want to do this in a certain order, and because the NFL preseason is up and you guys are so disinterested, I want to ask you a couple of questions right off the hop, okay? One is, do you watch at all? And if you are watching, what are you watching for?
I personally don't watch that much.
Okay.
biggest reason is probably I just have other points of interest that I would rather be watching at this time. But if you are watching, like for me, a Bills fan, you're watching for your draft picks, obviously. So the guys like TJ Parker, who was our top draft pick this year, really, really good college player over at Clemson. You want to see what he can do coming off the edge. Like for me, a guy, we drafted Skylar Bell. He played at Connecticut. I want to see how that translates playing at Connecticut versus playing NFL level talent, even though it is the preseason. You're looking at guys like Ed Oliver, who had to go on IR last season. You're looking at how he can look in some game action, and you're just kind of making sure everyone isn't too rushed. Like, I have never watched a preseason game ever in my life being like, I hope we win this game. It is purely an evaluation game, at least for me anyway.
All right. And then what about you? Do you watch it all? And if you do, what do you watch for, Josh?
Yeah, I'll tune in here and there. Like if they're like the Bengals play tonight, I think. So I'll probably end up catching a little bit of that. As it gets later and they start introducing the starters for more time, I will take the Bengals more seriously. And then, like, if there's some interesting storyline, like the Browns still have yet to name a starter. Is it going to be Shadur? Is it going to be the other guy, Deshaun Watson? So
don't count out Dylan Gabriel, Oregon legend.
Dylan Gabriel. Is he sneaky the best quarterback on this roster? No, I have no idea. So I'll end up watching some of that just to see what they look like on a couple of series, but I have no interest really watching.
I watch for the first round pick, like who may not play that much usually. And I also love the Eagles, like helmet, jersey look, and I like to watch them play. You know, I'll watch. I have NFL Network, and sometimes because they played some famous games in recent years, I'll watch that just to look at the, Fletcher Cox or whoever my favorite player was at the time. We also have we should probably talk about. Do you want to talk about Westbrook now or later?
Hey, you know what? Why don't we talk about him now? I mean, Russell Westbrook, one of what's the number, Deck? 46 guys to ever win an MVP.
36
guys to ever win an MVP. Less than there have been presidents.
Yeah,
fun fact. And he did it averaging a triple double for an entire season.
And then he averaged 3 more triple doubles.
I know, it's crazy stuff from this guy. Even my dad texted me last night. He said, "Are you pouring one out for Russ tonight?" And I said, "Well, I wish you retired on a Friday so I could drink 3 doubles in true honor for the guy." But on it, legend of the game, did everything he could to keep the Oklahoma City Thunder afloat after Kevin Durant's signing to elsewhere in the National Basketball Association,
which rarely happens.
Yes, very rarely happens, particularly to a team that won 73-9 the previous season.
Seems fair.
And then stat pattern, couldn't shoot the ball, whatever. For a long time, I was just like, I don't see the hype around Russell Westbrook. As I have gotten older and matured, Russell Westbrook, awesome player.
You don't know how borderline hilarious, somewhat depressing it is when somebody who's 22 talks about when they were immature and now that they're more mature.
Oh, I mean, I am more mature than I was when I was,
that, and I believe you, and I agree
old.
with you. It's like when I was a new dad, I was talking to this guy, Massey sewing machines, and I said, I wish I knew. I want to get this right. I wish I knew how stupid I was when I was 20, now that I'm 30. And the guy goes, "If you think you were stupid at 20, wait until you're 40 and realize how stupid you are now."
Zinger.
And absolutely correct. I mean, there's no way to back out of it. It is absolutely a fact. As you gain experience in life, you give up a lot, being able to run, wake up in the morning and have nothing go, you slept on me last night and I'm not happy. But you do get a little bit of experience, and that is good in life. Let's talk about the Elks. The Stamps play today, tonight. This is I feel like this is one, you said it well. You said it's like, you win on the weekend. If you're the Elks, you hold that spot at the top, and you're looking forward to the Labor Day front and back, and hopefully sweeping that. But you've got to stay with the Rough Riders, and they got to stay with you, because there's a big game at the end of the year could decide everything.
Yeah, and just quickly before that, I will make sure history is kind to Russell Westbrook. if it's me against the world, I will make sure that happens. I don't know if we're going to talk about him later in the show, but
Well, I'm sorry I cut you off. I moved on subject-wise. You can talk about Russell.
just like an icon of icon. Like no one thought anyone could average a triple-double post Oscar Robertson, right? Like Magic didn't do it. Larry Bird didn't do it. Jordan, not that it was ever his game. He didn't really do it. He couldn't do it. LeBron didn't do it. And I think it was either Magic or LeBron in a sit-down interview said it would never be done. And then a 6'4" point guard did it. And the first season he did it, he also put up 32 points a game. And then he did it 3 more times after that. Like the game evolved a little bit, but what he did just he was one of the only players who played everything at 100, and it didn't always work for him, but he always left you as a fan rubbing your temples saying like, that was some of the craziest stuff I ever saw. So absolute legend of the game. I'm like an NHL comparable for retirement. Like, I don't know, maybe like Pavel, I don't know. I'm not going to play this game. I open my mouth without really thinking about it, but just an unbelievable legend. And I hope we remember him fondly.
I'm sure we will. Now
on to the Elks. Yeah. I said like, this feels like such a can't lose game for me. I don't know where you guys come out on this, but you look at Winnipeg this week, they're playing Ottawa. You look at Calgary playing BC. Because the funny thing about that game, if Calgary wins, that's kind of the team you're focusing on because you have the Labor Day back-to-back and they have a better record right now. But if BC wins, all of a sudden BC is getting a little hot. So now, just instead of worrying about Winnipeg and Calgary, who are right behind you in the standings, you have to worry about a BC team who's getting hot, who you're also 1-1 against.
And they've got a great quarterback.
And they do, and they have a great quarterback, and everything would kind of be flowing for them and kicking into gear. So this game against Toronto looms, I think, sneakily really, really large for this team. And this is the other thing, like through and through, Edmonton is a better team than Toronto. So if you lose this game, you'll obviously, the gap between you and Winnipeg, Calgary, possibly BC, that gets a lot smaller. That's the biggest point of emphasis. You'd be on a 3-game losing streak, which is never great for the locker room. And then all of a sudden, you'll have lost to a team that was really beatable in a number of different areas, right? So like there are a lot of things that go into this one that aren't maybe getting talked about that are all pretty huge points of emphasis on why an Elks win is so important this weekend. Yeah,
it's I feel like, you know, we who observe the Elks at this point in the year, it has been, you know, for years and years, not quite a football generation, but a long time. Like, okay, you know, they started off 0-8 or whatever, but they seem to be building, and this might be something they can carry over. None of that nonsense. We're talking about, you know, will they host a playoff game? This is real stuff. It's very exciting, and I expect we'll see a big crowd out on the weekend, and that will be good news for everybody involved. Yesterday, we talked about the Oilers signing a goaltender, Emil Vinny, who was a second-round draft pick a couple of years ago, and it's extremely likely that Emil Vinny will play in the ECHL this season. That would be my guess anyway. But they've done something else again today, and they've signed themselves this is an assistant coach for the Bakersfield Condors. So it's not like it's a major signing and everybody's going to, you know about it and talk about it, and it's going to be a big deal. But it is important because it's a defensive coach and a guy who was a head coach not that long ago. So from the point of view of what the Oilers have been doing, it's been a quiet summer. Like there hasn't been a lot going on. But we're seeing signing of Vinny yesterday, and the Bakersfield Condors have named Dalmo the assistant coach for the Bakersfield Condors, and he was an Indy Fuel head coach for years in the USHL. So he's a guy who had a 159, 112, 34 record, and they won the Kelly Cup playoffs in each of his 4 full seasons. So got a really nice background and played under the ECHL as well. So Oilers haven't made any big news. We understand from Stan Bowman there's not going to be a lot of signings. And I do you guys think that there would be a PTO, or do they even have room for one? There's really good players out there. There's guys I like. I just don't know that they could promise them a job if they came, and they've only got a few preseason games. I don't know how much time the player would get here in terms of being able to showcase their ability for the Oilers and another team. Anybody like? Do you think they'll sign anybody, or do you think it'll be kind of quiet?
I'm never opposed to a PTO. But who did you have a name in mind?
Well,
because like no one for me really.
I like Logan Stanley, but there's no room.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And
So maybe the answer is just no.
Yeah, and I mean that. Look, there's players out there. They're going to get contracts, and the owners are in a great spot. They don't want to keep their powder dry money wise, and I get that. I understand it. So I think it's going to be pretty quiet there. Let's talk Jays. Josh hasn't said a word in 2 minutes. So we talked yesterday about, are they out of this and they keep winning? There's some kind of hair around this microphone or me that's driving me crazy. So I can't wait for the break. But the Jays won yesterday. They play again today. They're on a little bit of a winning streak. We talked about them. They got enough games left, but they're 2.5 behind, and they're behind 5 teams. You had changed a little bit week to week, where you went from no, I don't think so, to now maybe starting to believe a little. What's your believometer right now between 1 and 10?
Well, they're only 1.5 games back now, not 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting higher because yesterday they scored 5 in the 8th. Like,
no, they haven't done that in a while.
They basically haven't done that since last season, which is like what was really great about that Jays team was that you couldn't count them out. It was like, hey, it's like they might be down 4 runs, but they can really get something cooking here, And so, like, if they can string a couple more of those together, like, I'm still not like, oh boy, on a scale of 1 to 10, like I'm at a 9.5 or anything like that. I'm probably sitting around probably an even 5. But again, like I all I can think about is what I said yesterday is baseball is such a fickle sport. Like it like everything can just change on a dime. I mean, they've been they haven't even been 10 games behind at all at this season, I don't think. Like I think the lowest they've dropped is 7.5 games behind. And then it helps that you're playing 2 teams that don't really need the wins right now. They're sort of firmly in the spots where they're at. But if you can get it going against those guys and get some good momentum going into September, like I think it'll really come down to the end of the week if my believometer just dies or if it shoots up a big time based on what they do to the Yankees.
Yeah, I feel like this, like the next 10 days is what games is what I said, and they won yesterday, and they may win today. I think that's it, because if you're done, if you can pass, there was 5 behind them, or 5 in front of them, I believe. If you can pass 3 of those teams, and now it's Texas, you, and Cleveland or whatever, well, then you've got a fighter's chance. It's a 3-man race, and there's maybe a chance here. And then the Soriano acquisition looms large. He's pitched twice for them.
Pitched twice, once at home, once on the road.
Right, and he's looked okay.
Yeah.
And so they lose Gosman, but they get Soriano under control. That could look brilliant after less than a week ago, people kind of shooting bullets at them verbally about the move. If he is a part of a significant drive to make the postseason, and so far he has been, then that deal might look very good come October. Not suggesting they're going to get deep into the playoffs, but if at this point in their season, if the Toronto Blue Jays make the playoffs, that's a victory. That's a win. I don't think anybody's thinking they're going to make it to the World Series.
Nope. But again, it's one of those things. You catch fire at the right time. Bats get hot. Anything can happen. I wouldn't think so, just with the brand of consistency this team has had. Yeah. I mean, they're 7-3 in their last 10 against some decent teams. The Phillies, obviously, and the Astros both took 1 game off of them, and the Cubs took a win, but that went to extras. Like they're still battling.
Yeah,
they've got 4 extra inning games in their last 10. Like
and Vladdy hit a home run recently, and
he did.
That's, to me, that's the big sign.
Also, if he's going to hit a home run at home, it's going to be against the Yankees.
Well, today would be a good day. Does the ball fly better in the daytime?
Probably. It's drier out, right?
Yeah,
so
have the roof open.
Yep. You get a little help there.
Yeah.
But if anything, like I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't hit one today. I'd be very shocked if they win today and then he did not find outside the park over the fence. There we go. Against the Yankees, because as we know, Vladdy hates the Yankees,
and he's funny about it too. I love him as a player. I'd sure like hell for Vladdy, and I hope he does hit a home run today. And for our sakes, I hope he does win because it makes for great content and conversation. Okay, very busy day. Declan Nation's coming up at 1:40 today, and you're covering completely the CFL, right?
Yeah, Declan CFL, going to look ahead to the Elks game, of course, talk a little league-wide action, but yeah, it should be good.
Circumference of the ball, all those sorts of things, all coming up at 1:40 today. Just ahead, we have rumors, and at 1 o'clock today, Bag Milk, who's going to talk to us, extrapolate on the big news yesterday from the site. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
Tap into the fun of Play Alberta's most popular casino games. From the fast-paced spins of Cash Eruption to the retro thrills of Sevens Wild, online excitement is always at your fingertips. Spin through your choice of popular slots or discover Alberta-exclusive games you won't find anywhere else. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Alberta, this one's for you. Around here, trust takes a few winters. It's why players have known Jackpot City since 1998. Home to hundreds of exciting casino games, live dealer action, and new adventures waiting to be discovered. Jackpot City, nothing beats the original. Please play responsibly, 18 years or older, Alberta only.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca.
Thunder's out of timeouts. Adams gives it back to Russ. Deep shot. To a historic day. For a second time. First pitch, he goes the other way. This ball is gone. And the scoreboard flips. For a second time. Sound. High fly ball, left field. That one heading towards the bullpen, and that is gone. It's a 3-homer game for Alex Bregman, the first of his career. What a night for Bregman. And it is all Cubs here in D.C.
Yeah, I love that smile.
He's knocked in 7.
His
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. I'm so pleased that we've moved. You know, we have the 5 seasons in Edmonton. We have winter, spring, summer, smoke, and then fall. And I think we've moved from smoke into the fall season now. It's cooler. We see the turning of the leaves. The rain isn't as often, although it's pretty much every night. And I put on the bum heater today in the car, which is usually a September thing, but it was chilly. It was a little bit cold. What about you guys? Have you turned off the AC and moved it over to the heat side, or are you there yet?
When I'm driving in the morning, particularly this week, I do have the heat on in my car. That's also to help with just like the fogging of my windows.
Yeah.
But like I run pretty hot like while I sleep. So the fan is turned off, but I'm not like closing the window yet or anything like that. I still need that cool air to come in.
I will tell you, in my life, I keep the window open as long, like if it doesn't get like too cold, I'll leave it open all year.
Yeah, it really depends. I remember when I had my first apartment, I was renting a room. I did not close the window for a long time until I walked into my room one day. I was like, man, it is brisk in here. I forgot I opened the window like last night while I was asleep, because I would close it before I went to school and stuff like that. But I was like, oh, this was a mistake.
You can always put an extra blanket on, but it's hard to, cool down and you have to be cool to sleep, right?
You gotta be.
Yeah. Anyway, we're here now. What about you? Do you put the heat on right now, Declan, or are you too cool?
No, I'm a big AC guy through and through, like a fan. Like sometimes I'll sleep with a fan on in the winter just for, I don't know, but I just like it, I guess. But no.
My daughter's like that too. You can't make it cold enough.
Yeah. And I always like I'm always like a one leg out of the blanket guy.
Yeah. Yeah. But you have an agreement with the monster under the bed. They won't attack that leg, right?
I am the monster under the bed.
That's probably true. All right. It is time for Rumors, brought to you by Hire Good. We solve real problems for businesses while creating real impact. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. Go to hiregood.ca. Hire Good. Stable jobs create stable lives. It's a fascinating company. By the way, you know about the Onion, right?
Yes.
They have one up today. Marlins Jumbotron displays message saying free trial for ABS system has ended. There's a lot of MLB teams they could have done that to, because there's a lot of cheap MLB owners, but that's kind of hilarious, and I thought I'd start this segment with that because it's funny. There are every year in August, August 15th to be exact, free agents that from the NCAA that basically have their signing rights go away. They were drafted by a team, and at some point in time that time like elapses, and then you can sign anywhere you want. And it happens to be August 15th with some of these folks. And the list isn't inspiring, and I haven't looked to see if any of these cats have done something brilliant after getting drafted. But Steven Sidarian, 2021 88th overall by the Buffalo Sabres, will be a free agent, and that's like 2 days from right now. And that's a fairly high pick. Jack Smith from the Montreal Canadiens, 2020 102 overall. Adam Ingram from Nashville Predators, 82nd overall out of St. Cloud State. And let me see if I can give you one more here. Samu Salmelainen, 68th overall, University of Denver and New Jersey Devils draft pick. So those are players that the Oilers don't have anybody. They don't have anybody on this list. And sometimes it's like, this is a non-prospect. The player did not develop. Plenty of those folks drafted by the Oilers every year, but plenty, or over the years, but plenty by all teams. The thing to keep in mind is scouting. This is the period of time when scouts are vital, and every team has a fan base that believes their guys are awful. Oh, the scouts are terrible. But you have to understand that like success, you're drafting 7 players a year. You're probably signing, let's say, 3 more free agents out of college or university or Europe. So let's say you got 10 new guys coming in every year. You have 23 roster spots. If you get 2 of those 10 onto the NHL team eventually, that's a pretty good batting average. And the Oilers, and I will give Ken Holland and Peter Chiarelli too. Peter Chiarelli, Ken Holland, and Stan Bowman specifically, because I think Stan Bowman is ratcheted up. I think they're doing a lot more now. But they find players in unusual places. Josh Szymanski was in the German league, and he's a player. Whether or not the Oilers have him on the team opening night, that guy's going to play in the National Hockey League. Quinn Hudson, coming out of college, he was, the word we got, there was some competition for him. The Oilers got him signed. And that's a guy who could make the team this year, although I think it's a long shot. I have him projected in my reasonable expectations to play games in the NHL this coming season. And the Oilers do that all the time. They signed a kid, a defenseman out of Czech Republic or Czechia this year. They've got some goaltenders who are interesting. Signed some forwards. Owen Michaels is a college guy out of Western Michigan University, who I think is going to play in the NHL. So do the Oilers, because the contract he signed is a 2-year deal, and the second year of that deal, he gets played full torque, whether he's in the NHL or the AHL. That's an indication the Oilers believe he'll play NHL games in 27-28. So those names that I just mentioned to you, they may not be anything, but the Oilers scouts will know what they are and what they're not, and we'll see if any of them are signed beginning on August 15th. There could be some late signings, but I think they mostly would be AHL cats. The Oilers look like, to me, they've got everything covered but right-handed center. Honestly, right-handed center is it. They don't have one. They could sign Curtis Lazar. Maybe Owen Michaels is the answer. Don't know. When Todd McClellan was with the Oilers, they didn't have a right center to begin with, but then they traded for Ryan Strome. Painful deal. They gave up Jordan Eberle. But Strome was, really good. I don't know why they traded him, but they did. And McClellan used Strome basically as a second line center much of the time when he was here. So that's a player I think they eventually will get for Mike Babcock. And I would expect trades this year, during the year. I don't think there's very much doubt that the roster that Babcock sees at training camp will need to have some tweaks. Don't know what they'll be, but one of them might be a right-handed center who can play in the top 9. That to me would be the only major priority that you'd maybe want to look at and say, okay, let's get this set before we go anywhere else. Not there yet, but maybe it'll happen. In the major leagues of baseball, we've talked early in the last segment a little bit about what the Toronto Blue Jays might do. They play today just after 1 o'clock against the Boston Red Sox. Peyton Tolley, who struck out like 12 guys last time out, will be up against Max Scherzer, who's done surprisingly well. But the roster and the lineup for the Oilers or for the Blue Jays is McAdoo, Clement, Guerrero, Springer, Okamoto, Jimenez, Valenzuela, Miles Straw, and Nathan Lukes. And last year people were lauding the Toronto Blue Jays for, hey, they're going the opposite direction. They don't have a bunch of guys who strike out 170 times and hit 20 home runs. They got a bunch of guys who strike out 48 times and hit, 6 home runs, but they're on base a lot because they got a good on base percentage. They take walks. They can hit a double here or there, and it is working, baby. But guess what? You still need the home runs, and they've gotten them. Okamoto for sure. But Vladdy doesn't have a lot, and they're not hitting doubles either. So this run that they're on now because regression baseball is basically math put to sport, and regression has to come for the Blue Jays. The only problem is we don't know when. It could be next season. But these cats who are playing now, Vladdy Guerrero, everything about him, he's not 30 years old yet. Everything about him says this is the expected number. 25 home runs, 270 batting average, whatever it is. And he's way off of that. Regression will take care of it. There may be injuries involved, but he will get back to that. And he only has 40 games left in this season. So I suspect we'll see a little bit of that. I still don't think they're going to make it. I just think they're too far back. But what do I know? So we'll wait and see. And it certainly is worth a watch. And I think baseball fans are in Canada are really good fans. Like it's a massive fan base, and they deserve to have something to watch and something to enjoy. And this would be it. This would absolutely be it. Last chance Texaco for sure, though. I don't think anybody you wouldn't disagree with that, would you, Josh? Like this is if they lose 3 in a row this week, then they're screwed.
Yeah. It's over.
Yeah,
over if you lose 3 in a row, because that at worst puts you 4.5 games back.
Yeah,
and that's just it's too much to make up in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it is. Earlier in the show, I try not to walk all over my learned cohorts because it's not fair. And but I did. Declan was prepared to wax poetic about one of his favorite players, Russell Westbrook, who is retired, former MVP, 18 seasons in the league, did brilliant things, and I believe my friend Declan has a little chip on his shoulder because there were periods during his career where Mr. Westbrook was maybe disrespected or regarded lightly compared to the greatness that he displayed. So I'm going to just give you a couple of minutes here, if you would. Talk to me about why you are so passionate about the career of Russell Westbrook.
Well, I think you said a lot very well. I just think, Russell Westbrook, and listen, Russell Westbrook had, his faults. He was very inefficient. I don't know if you would always categorize him as a winning player, but as far as he did stuff no one thought was possible, and he reached heights as an individual that only 36 players in NBA history have ever reached. And there's always kind of a revisionist history with a guy like Russell Westbrook. It's and it's such a weird conversation because people are always like, well, wait till the athleticism goes, wait till the athletic. It's why are you looking down the road to that? Who cares? So what? Guess he played 18 years and it accomplished some pretty incredible things in that time. And so I just hope, was he as good a player as some of the other point guards of all time? No. But was he absolutely one of the most exciting players, an appointment viewing, and one of the faces of a generation of basketball for a lot of fans? He was. And I just hope he's respected that way.
Yeah. Do you find though that in a sport where single players can make a major difference about, in terms of winning, winning championships, that sometimes a player gets caught in a situation with an organization that is not as competitive as they could be, and it's not the player's fault, but that sort of reflects on the player a little bit and tarnishes the legacy a little?
I do kind of, but I actually don't think Russ is an example of that. I think he probably did about as good as he could have leading the team in OKC. He had his warts. Don't get me wrong. He was far from a perfect player. There was a lot to not like about his game. But I just think when we step back and when we take the Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith hat off, and we just say, I'm trying to enjoy watching a basketball game, he's who you wanted to be watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do feel that sometimes in life, and I'm old, so I remember lots of these characters, but there are players who get terminally underrated.
Yeah.
I
do think he was one of them.
Right. I'll pull a name from my basketball history. Dennis Johnson, who was just a brilliant player and had a great career and was highly successful. But when I read things about what he did and what he accomplished, I kind of feel like maybe he was overlooked. I mean, he was part of 2 championship teams, in 2 different cities. Don't you think he's underrated a little?
Yeah, I would say
defender.
So. Yeah.
No. Seattle and
Boston.
Where else did he play? Boston, right?
Played on the 86 Celtics, who, depending on who you ask, could be the greatest basketball team.
A lot of talent on that team.
Yeah, and he played in Phoenix too. But he was a great player, and
he's one of the most underrated players out there.
Thank you. That's how I feel.
But he also exists in probably he's not a tier 1 or even tier 2.
Oh no,
you know what I mean? But yeah,
no. He's the in baseball. My favorite player as a kid was Rusty Staub, and he had if you look at some of the Hall of Fame players who played the outfield or first base or DH as did Rusty Staub. his numbers are there, but I know he's not a Hall of Famer. I know that. Rusty Staub isn't a Hall of Famer, but I still love him. Like it's possible to do that, to have a player that you like just cherish the memory of him playing, and you can acknowledge that he's not a Hall of Famer. I was glad Tim Raines got in because I felt like Raines was just a little better, but who's your favorite player not in the Hall of Fame, any Hall of Fame, that you would go to war to make you have it happen?
Jimmy Butler. But do I have to pick a retired player? Because I can do that as well.
Okay, yeah, pick a retired player.
You know what else? Today, honestly, made me I think the day Jimmy retires, I honestly think I'll take the day off work.
It's probably
and
a good
just
idea.
like sit there and watch highlights for 8 hours. You know what I mean? But a player who's not in the Hall of Fame, ooh. Wow, that's across any sport?
Yeah, any sport.
Oh man. I don't know if I have an answer off the top of my head. I might have to let Josh go
You
first.
told me you had an answer.
No, I didn't.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy was I'm trying to think of a retired guy now.
Okay. Well, I don't want to put you on the spot. I do that enough,
Am I supposed to be defending that they should be in the Hall of Fame, or just they were?
No, somebody that you
like
like a Rusty Staub. I know he's not a Hall of Famer, but if he went in the Hall of Fame, I'd be thrilled.
Oh, I've got a name. You got no sniff of ever making the Hall of Fame, but Serge Ibaka, just one of the great rim defenders of the 2010s, and just in my opinion was one of the more upper echelon role players. And I think history looks pretty fondly on Serge Ibaka, Orlando Magic legend, just so you all know.
Yeah, the Magic are one of the famous teams in the league.
For one season, they traded for him for whatever reason, I don't know, and then they gave him this huge contract.
Yeah, I was going that direction as well. The name that I was thinking of was Mike Miller.
Oh, that's a great name.
Obviously, never going to he might not even get a ticket to someone else's induction ceremony, but he was a guy who stepped up in big moments, played his role incredibly well, and any team would have wanted that style of player on their team. So I might go him.
Even now, his game is aged
well,
very, very well.
You feel like the style he played, he could come play today and give you 7 minutes,
Yeah. All right. So it's 12:39. We have a Bag Milk coming up. Going to have a lot to talk about. I will say this. I like the new brand. I like Daily Face Off Edmonton. I think it looks really good. And I think it's going to be cool. And we're going to talk to Bag Milk at 1 o'clock about that. Declinations at 1:40 talking Canadian Football League. Declan today will be paying homage to Russ Jackson. If you had to, could you say 50 words about Russ Jackson?
Yeah. But they would all be slanderous. And that's what I was trying to think of.
When I was a kid,
he's not that good. He got lucky.
Russ Jackson was he was a legend, just an absolute legend. But I never saw him play. So I just had to accept he was a legend, right?
Yeah.
And when you're young, you're like, so what is he doing? He hasn't done anything, right? But I mean, if you look at the numbers and then the success he had in Grey Cups and the regular seasons, he was something else. Okay. On the way, your comments, we haven't gotten to them yet, so we're going to do that straight away. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 on YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Harley-Davidson of Edmonton is turning up the heat for their annual garage sale and swap meet. Catch the Twin West Cruise Stunt Team live for 2 massive shows packed with smoke and fire. Plus, score huge deals on parts, gear, and clothing. Check out artisan vendors, local riding groups, and grab a bite at the food trucks. August 15th, 10 to 3 at Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail. Locally owned and operated since 1980. Find more at hdedmonton.com. Now's the time to shop with the Bricks 0% event. Get what you need today with absolutely $0 down. Pay nothing with no interest until 2028, or choose 36 equal monthly payments on qualifying purchases. Plus, save up to 25% on living room furniture, up to 20% on dining and bedroom furniture, and up to 40% on select mattresses. Hurry into The Brick today. These incredible offers are only on until August 19th. The Brick, saving you more.
Kickoff is coming August 15th. Elks, Argos at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Family Day presented by Goodwill Industries of Alberta. Youth 17 and under get in free for an early afternoon contest. Conditions apply. Tickets and info at goelks.com/tickets.
Ford employee pricing is on now, and you pay what we pay on virtually our entire lineup of Ford vehicles. Visit your Alberta Ford store today.
Guys, there never seems to be enough time in the day, but you need to make time for this. Ken Franchek here. If you're 40 or over, a quick PSA blood test is crucial for early prostate cancer detection. The Prostate Cancer Center's Man Van is a mobile health clinic driving change for men's health. A few minutes could save your life. To get the Man Van out to your business or event, book today at getcheck.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you. Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus all. T's and C's apply.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Microphone smells like a beer. You're there. You're absolutely there. We're brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. They're overstocked and making room with a massive summer clearance. Plus, employee pricing continues. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. Okay. Did we have any other, when we're talking about Dennis Johnson and underrated players, any league, did we have anybody text in with any interesting ones? Because I saw a few of them, but I didn't have a chance to go through them all.
There was a little affirmation on my Mike Miller's pick, Miller pick from Bench. So shout out Bench. He knows what he's talking about.
So you just mentioned that one then that agreed with you. You're like me. You know, it's like.
Well, I mean.
Finally, somebody has some sense out there. You can text us, by the way, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. If there's somebody in your Hall of Fame that hasn't made it yet, and you know, if you're talking about Oilers or ex-Oilers who deserve to be in the Hall of Fame and aren't there, there's a pile of them. They're not going to put any more 80s guys in, but I'd put Moog and Charlie Huddy in. I'm biased. I admit that. From my, and Craig McTavish as a player was an exceptional player. He's a checking center, and they're miserably underrated in the Hall of Fame. But I think he was great. He was a great centerman. He really was. And he had a very fine career. Baseball wise, man, if the 75 Cincinnati Reds have any position players who aren't in aside from Cesar Geronimo, that's a shame. And you could probably put Geronimo in based on his defense, but they wouldn't do that. This is kind of interesting in a way that you want to project onto the roster maybe mid-season. But I wrote Reasonable Expectations at The Athletic. It's up now. And I have Quinn Hudson playing 4 games. And a lot of people are feeling like Hudson is a guy who might be able to make the team. I don't see it. Like, I think you'd need an injury. And maybe the injury is Matthias Janmark. But even then, I think it would be really difficult because the Oilers are going to keep 5 centers. And that's McDavid, Draisaitl, Jason Dickinson, Josh Szymanski, and then somebody else. And the somebody else might be Nugent Hopkins, who just checks down when he's not playing wing. But they're going to be 5 guys. And I think one of them, they would like to be a right-handed center. So, and maybe they choose Trent Frederick instead of Nuge, or maybe Szymanski gets sent down. That would make more sense in terms of what the Bakersfield Condors need. But I found that interesting because I guess for me, Hudson is not a guy I see making the team. I think Ike Howard is the guy who will or won't make the team on the wing among the young group. So we'll see. Sad news. This is via Ryan Leslie, who you all know, obviously. Another sad day in Calgary sports world as we say goodbye to Hall of Fame broadcaster Peter Maher. Maher was central to my Oilers Flames experience when I was, the age of these young people here. I lived in Red Deer, early 80s. And Rod would call the Oilers games and Peter Maher would call the Flames games. And sometimes when they were playing each other, I would go back and forth. And both exceptional broadcasters, Rod and Peter Maher. But I enjoyed the call from the other side because those games, even in preseason, Flames and Oilers games could last 3.5 hours. There'd be fights, there'd be suspensions, there'd be Lord knows what. They just did not like each other, like in a very big way. And so for me, Maher was always he called a class game. He had the right tone. Like when he was outraged, you could tell. Messier cross-check in preseason. And so, along with being obviously a fine member of the community and a great individual as reflected by Ryan Leslie's words, he was a fantastic broadcaster. So rest in peace, Peter Maher. And there's way too many of these stories about folks passing away. So hopefully that's the end of it for a little while anyway. See the Flames have something up on that as well. Getting some feedback on the blog and other places about the changeover. And we are going to talk in a few minutes to Bag Milk. When a company, a website or whatever makes a changeover like that, it's a massive thing. And one thing that they want to do is they want to make sure the content is strong. And so, a couple of people have said, is anything else going to change? We're going to talk to Bag Milk about that. But I would suggest to you that when a brand is changed, they redouble their efforts to, to widen and make bigger and make more, as somebody who writes, for me, Daily Face-Off is, I go look for lines and that sort of thing. And I know that, based on the number of people I talk to about the site, that they have a very large following. And so, I'm reading that people are taking, the change very personally, and I get that and I understand it. But I also think that that they're the same people and they're going to be given the same, great content for you as you go through the 26-27 season. We'll talk to Bag Milk about that today. Jeff Fisher will never be a Hall of Fame coach, but I never thought a fake punt return was possible until his team pulled it off. That makes him a coaching legend in my books, for Mr. Maris. Well, I was always just amazed he could go 8-8 as often as he did.
At best.
I mean, it's like he's clockwork, man. This guy is mediocre. Put his picture in the dictionary. And he had some good teams too, right?
Yeah, early on for sure.
Yeah. Tiger says, so tough. You could always see Pete locally and the rinks after his retirement. Always engaging and funny. We got to read this. It's a long one. Lowetide at Five Guys now. I'm going to have a burger for lunch. Okay. What are you guys having for lunch?
I got 2 sandwiches. One is turkey, Havarti, and lettuce.
Havarti's a good choice.
It's a little nutty,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Pause. Second is a peanut butter and honey sandwich.
Damn, man.
Looking forward to that.
You are a rock and roller.
Yeah, a bit of a superstar, and a diet orange crush to drink. And probably like 15 Zonic.
Yeah. Karen loves the orange crushes, the diet orange.
Oh, they're the best.
Yeah. She's just like, I'm not saying she's addicted.
Tell her to buy me a case.
wrong. You want a flat from Karen, do you?
I would.
Okay, I'll tell her. I don't know. What are you having for lunch?
I don't know, probably a nap. I'll have some form of chicken and broccoli with some potatoes for dinner because my roommate left. He's got to go work he is working in the States and left all his perishable food and said, Josh, you have to eat this.
Oh, you poor man. Is he a good cook?
No, like I'm the one.
What's he doing then?
He works. His dad owns this company. They build like the indoor attractions, laser tag, mini golf.
Oh, cool.
Like if anyone's been to Activate, like they build indoor attractions like that. So he's doing some installs and whatever else down and around the States for who knows how long.
He's gone till he's back.
He's correct. He'll text me the week that he has his return ticket or whatever, and everything will be fine and well.
Yeah.
But I'm the one that does the cooking in the apartment, and he will do the cleaning of the kitchen afterwards, much
Okay.
like a married couple.
Right. But, not a married couple.
Correct.
Right. Although you are critical of them, like if you were married. What about you, Connor? What are you having for lunch today?
I don't actually. I think it's some sort of pasta I packed. I don't actually remember what I packed. I'll be honest.
Sure. Yeah, you're young. But you have breakfast, do you?
Yeah. I had a breakfast sandwich when I came in.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you have your 3 squares a day. You don't go too long without eating like Josh does.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Good man. Well, keep that up. I'll never forgive Fisher for how he treated McNair from Nicky North side. I loved McNair. McNair and Warren Moon, 2 of my favorite quarterbacks in the NFL. I loved McNair. Was like he was ridiculous how good he was, and with his body type, what he could do even without throwing the ball. One of the 2 things: number one, he passed away, which is just so damn sad. But secondly, he deserved a Super Bowl. He totally earned it, and it didn't come to him. So I feel as though life was obviously rewarded Steve McNair, but I think that life robbed him of a Super Bowl victory. That's my opinion. Do you agree with that or no?
I don't robbed him of a Super Bowl victory.
Yeah, but he was better than his team.
Yeah, league MVP, co-league MVP, actually. Yeah, okay. I'll go in on the take.
Okay, all right. Just like Jalen Hurts deserved a Super Bowl, and he got one.
Sure. Sure.
I'm telling you, of all you guys get mad at me about whatever that actor's name is.
Brad Pitt.
You know his name.
Never heard of him. But I like as much as I bring angst to you about Brad Pitt, you give it back and more about my quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. You mean boys.
Well, we're right, but on both counts.
All right. Coming up, Bag Milk will join us. We also have declinations at 1:40. And of course, we'll talk about the Elks. We'll talk about the Oilers and whatever else you would like to pass along to us at 833-401-1440. That's 833-401-1440. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. It's time for an update with Declan Krueger.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by elksnation.ca for the best green and gold coverage online with articles, podcasts, and more. Visit elksnation.ca. MLB scores from around the league right now. Tigers lead the Guardians 2-0 in at the bottom of the seventh. Pirates lead the Marlins 5-0 at the same point in the game. Reds up 8-5 on the White Sox, and the Yankees trail the Mariners 1-0. Blue Jays will go in about 7 minutes time, playing host to the Red Sox. Max Scherzer on the bump for that one. Cubs and Nats next up on the dock at 2:05 in the late game. We'll see the Brewers and the Dodgers at 8:10. WNBA action tonight, the Dream and the Sun at 5 o'clock, getting things going. Then the Sparks and Liberty tipping at 6. In the late game, we'll see the Mystics and the Aces at 8. CFL Week 11 gets going tonight with BC and Calgary down in Calgary. The line for that one currently -3.5 for the Stamps, and it will be a 7 p.m. kickoff. And from around the sporting world, Carolina Panthers running back Chuba Hubbard out week to week with a hamstring injury, while Jaden Daniels has sent a cease and desist to LSU after DJ Pickett, the sophomore corner, has been given his former jersey number. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Tee up for a great day on the course and support the Stony Plain Eagles Senior Men's Hockey Club. It's the Stony Plain Eagles Golf Tournament. Gather your foursome and join the Eagles August 25th at the Links at Spruce Grove for a 2 p.m. shotgun start. Enjoy a fantastic afternoon of golf, great company, and friendly competition, all while supporting the Stony Plain Eagles. Get all the details and register today at stonyplaineagles.com.
They're going all out to earn your business at Wolf GMC Buick. Right now, they're seriously overstocked on over 400 pieces of inventory on clearance and ready to move. See for yourself. Click on the clearance tab at wolfgmcbuick.com. And it gets even better. Employee pricing continues with huge cash discounts, 0% purchase financing, and low lease rates on select vehicles. Once again, see their website for details or stop in today. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Tap into the fun of Play Alberta's most popular casino games. From the fast-paced spins of Cash Eruption to the retro thrills of Sevens Wild, online excitement is always at your fingertips. Spin through your choice of popular slots or discover Alberta-exclusive games you won't find anywhere else. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Struggling to find skilled workers? What if you could fill your talent pipeline with motivated, pre-vetted youth and receive funding to support your efforts? At Careers the Next Generation, we connect Alberta employers with interns in skilled trades, IT, agriculture, forestry, and more. All WCB covered, high school accredited, safety trained, and ready to contribute from day one. With 83% of RAP students continuing their apprenticeships after high school, investing in youth today means securing your workforce for tomorrow. Don't wait. Visit careersnextgen.ca to get started.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
School's almost out, and road trip season is just around the corner. But if your brakes sound like they're grinding harder than a hockey fourth liner, it might be time to visit Napa Auto Parts. Napa has all the quality parts, tools, and know-how to help keep your vehicle running smoothly and road ready. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
A scrub is a guy that thinks he's minded, also known as a buster. Always thinking about what he wants and just sits on his broke ass. No, I don't want your number, no.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging on the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging on the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me.
Lowdown on Sports 1440. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. They're overstocked, making room for a massive summer clearance on right now. Plus, employee pricing continues. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. That's wolfgmcbuick.com. And we are joined now by Bagged Milk from Daily Face-Off Edmonton. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it, sir.
Yeah, a little bit of a change there. Hey, Al?
Yeah, I thought I was wondering, I was going to make a joke like, are you now changing your name to like evaporated milk or, milk in a can but I decided not to.
As much as the announcement from yesterday is a big change, and we can talk about it if you like. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, now they're stuck with me. I ain't going nowhere. I'm not changing the shtick. I'm still going to be yelling about Nuge and the PK and everything that I've been doing for the last 18 years at OilersNation.com, and that part is never going to change. Ultimately, big news, but that part is not going away.
Well, let me ask you, because people are asking me, and I want to get it from the Bagged Milk's mouth. The content is going to stay the same or be better, right? Like there's no going back on that. You're not changing that. It's a rebranding to kind of give, because I go to the different sites, Daily Face-Off for lines and stuff. This is all just making it in line with each other and branding in the same way.
Yeah, that's correct. And I think that ultimately bringing our team sites in Vancouver, Calgary, Toronto, and Edmonton under the Daily Face-Off umbrella is super important, because we were also getting to a point where now this isn't just a little blog anymore where we're just talking about the Oilers and hoping a couple of people read it from time to time and that's it, right? We've grown significantly since the launch in 2007, and that has created some confusion where some folks, whether it's advertisers or, nation citizens that are new and not quite understanding, I think this kind of really gives us the opportunity to standardize what we're doing and keep growing and building without necessarily having some of those confusions from brands or whoever it may be standing in our way. And Daily Face-Off, I think one thing I noticed yesterday from the feedback is Daily Face-Off has been part of the Nation Network for a long, long time.
Yeah.
We've been teammates with Daily Face-Off since, I'm doing this off my head and I might get it wrong, but I think it was 2012 that the Nation Network acquired Daily Face-Off. So it's been a long time where we've been partnered. It is a huge, huge brand for us. As you know, everybody knows the line combos and the starting goalies and all the content that we've got going up there. And for the plans and dreams and goals that we have for our network, having this done is going to be super beneficial. But at the same point, I also very much understand, and I'm with everybody, that this is a big change. And, when you go from having the brand that you've been used to since 2007 getting swapped, the passion that we saw yesterday on social media and in the market was really refreshing in a sense, because it showed how much Oilers Nation has impacted people. And the mission for us is to keep that going. Nothing's changing in terms of our content. Hopefully we can actually add more content types, increase our accesses in certain places, increase our opportunities in other places, and ultimately just keep growing what we built almost 20 years ago and being the place for Oilers fans to come and chat and talk and yell and make memes and make jokes. And none of that stuff's going away. we just had to do it in a way that's more sustainable for our goals. Because at the end of the day, Al, I mean, as somebody who's run Lowetide.ca for a very long time and has been a staple in the community, I think from our perspective, when I joined, at least in 2008, never in my wildest dreams that I imagined that our dreams would explode and blow up the way that they have over the last, handful of years. So it's a big change. It's an emotional one for all of us. And, but we're excited. We're excited about the opportunity and moving forward and really showing folks here in the city and Oilers fans everywhere that we're still doing the same thing. You're still going to see the memes. You're still going to see Frank's picks. You're still going to see the jokes and the shows and the contests and the events and the parties and the travel. That's all staying the same. We're just, we're uniting the network and making it a little bit more cohesive so that it's easier for our growth for the future and for everybody to understand. But obviously a big change and an emotional one.
Matt and Leduc says, I think what he's saying is that when it comes to milk staying, it's in the bag. So
in the bag is we're in the bag. We're not going. The milk has not gone bad. Whatever cliche and analogy and joke we want to use. No, people are stuck with me, Al. I'm not going anywhere. I haven't put 18 years into this company and expect not to do another 18.
Yeah. One thing that I would push back on some of the stuff that I'm reading, I read, I don't remember where, but somebody has said online about, well, this is what happens with big corporations. I just want, I knew the characters who began that site before they, were doing that. They were in another business. And you couldn't get, what I love about Edmonton is the entrepreneurial spirit. And just so everybody knows that I want to be, the one thing I want to make clear is that Daily Face-Off Edmonton, as it's now called, comes from folks who walk the same streets and do business in the same stores that you do. And so this is, if you love local, if you love Edmonton, this is as local in Edmonton as you can get.
And I'm glad you brought that up. And thank you for saying that, Al, because I think that I saw some of that yesterday too. And I get the confusion, because some folks, like I said, didn't even know that Daily Face-Off and Oilers Nation were on the same team. And that was one part of it. And then I think some of the other people that thought maybe this decision came from Suits in Toronto or that there was going to be some kind of adjustment like that. Well, the reality is as big of a change as it was and important as it was and as emotional as it was, the decision was made 8 feet to my right in Nation HQ in Edmonton. It was not an easy one, something we started working on back in December of 2025. And something we took very, very seriously. But to your point, this decision was made here in Edmonton for the best long-term health of the company, and it was made by somebody, as you mentioned, who owns businesses in the community. Who we all are proud Edmontonians. We love to be in the city. We love the Oilers, and we love the community that surrounds Oilers Nation and Daily Face-Off Edmonton. And it's emotional and we get it. And the attachment to it was very real and we saw it yesterday. And I'm very grateful for that attachment to it. But I think the only thing we can do going forward, Al, is just make sure that our actions back up the words and that what you've grown accustomed to and what you've grown used to is going to be the same thing when you open the websites and our shows and our podcast on Monday and when the season starts in late September. And when you come to our event where we retire the former logo, on the 26th of September, you're gonna see that, oh, it's still the same guys that we've always known. It's still the same group. It's still the same people. And that's super important to us. So I can say it as much as I want to you. But I think the only thing we can really do is show that the actions are going to match the words and that what you've grown accustomed to over the last almost 19 years is going to be the same thing to expect through the 2026-27 Oilers season. And we're excited about it.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. In conversation with our headliner of the day, Bagged Milk from Daily Face-Off Edmonton. It's brought to you by Faber. Debt holding you back? Let Faber's licensed insolvency trustees help you tackle your debt. Book your free consultation at faber.ca or call 1-877-944-1177. The good thing is if they win a Stanley Cup next spring, we can, blame it on Daily Face-Off Edmonton and bring in good karma, right?
Exactly. Like maybe that was the change that needed to happen. Maybe we tried too hard and it just didn't go our way and we had to correct the universe with a small tweak. but I'm excited, and I think like as we get closer to the season, and as I mentioned, as we get back into our usual programming and what we're doing, I think that it's going to feel very much the same, even though it's going to take a minute, and it's going to take a minute for all of us to get used to a new logo and all that kind of stuff. And I say that as somebody who's been contributing on the site since 2008. It's going to take us all a minute, but what I promise and I hope that everybody sees very short order is that the same gang of rascals that you've grown to know are the same ones that are going to be talking to you, writing for you, and making posts for you throughout the next season and well beyond.
It's going to be an interesting year, and we should talk a little bit about it. Somebody asked me, I wrote it down because I don't like to answer questions without doing surveys and asking people. So the question I was asked on Sunday, I'm going to ask you and then use it in my answer. Tell me the Canadian NHL teams you believe right now are going to make the playoffs.
Canadian NHL teams that are going to make the playoffs. All right, let me think about this for a quick second here. Okay. So I'm trying to think of how everybody did last year. That's my first approach as I'm looking through doing my orders here. So number one, Oilers, they're making the playoffs. If the Oilers do not make the playoffs next year, there will be bedlam in the city.
Yes.
There will be pandemonium. I don't think we need to worry about it. I think we're going to be okay. I think the Oilers are going to be in. So there's one. I also think that Montreal is going to be in. I think they're up and coming. I think they've got a very talented young team that's locked in for a long time. And unfortunately, as much as it pains me to say, I think Montreal is going to be a problem for a long time. So they're going to be in too. Ottawa, I don't see them getting in. I can't. They've had a lot of changes. They lost their captain, and yes, they got returns and they've added players. They've added Stuart Skinner, and I love Stu, but I don't think Ottawa is going to get in. So I've got two in so far. Calgary, no. Vancouver, no. Winnipeg, yes. Toronto is an interesting one to me because they were so bad last year. And yes, they've had a very busy offseason, a lot of players. They got Gavin McKenna, very exciting. I think of the Canadian teams, Toronto is a coin flip for me. I could see them scraping in. I could see them making it in, but I could also see them missing. So my locks would be essentially Edmonton, Montreal, and Winnipeg for the Canadian teams.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. There might be a surprise here or there. Montreal needs some things. Winnipeg is always, they seem to be the high to low a little bit, more chaotic than teams should be with that much talent. But I agree with you. I think those are the right ones.
And also, I just want to real quick. I said the wrong team for Stu. I was thinking about the season as a whole. So yeah, even with Stu moving on, I don't think like that's going to be impactful unless there's a big trade that happens in that, which that's kind of calmed down a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's very true. When we're talking about the Oilers, when we went through the process the last week or so, looking at players who have a chance to make the team and the contracts that are signed, unless Matthias Janmark starts on IR or somebody else gets hurt, it feels like Spencer Stastny and Alec Regula are going to face waivers and be sent down to the minors. It feels like all of the hopefuls not named Isaac Howard were a big part of the Condors. Quinn Hudson, maybe even Josh Szymanski, although he has a chance to make the team. All of those cats, they're going back to Bakersfield. Do you see anybody in that group who played significantly in Bakersfield a year ago with the Condors, aside from Isaac Howard, who I think most of us believe will play at the beginning of the year? Do you see anybody being a strong candidate to make the team?
I don't necessarily see a strong candidate. I've got the Condors roster open in front of me. Isaac Howard, I think, is going to make it, or at the very least, he's going to start the season with the Oilers. I can see Josh Szymanski finding his way into the opening night roster based on he played well after the recall last year. A lot of people liked him. He was starting to form some chemistry down there on that fourth line. I could see that. If I did have to pick a dark horse, and the only reason I'm saying this one, and feel free to correct me out because I know you will, and think about the grit And do we have enough pests on the roster right now? And I know that makes me look like a caveman sometimes when I talk about grit and fighting and all that stuff. I wonder if there's a case for a Connor Clattenburg to come in and have a great camp in those preseason games. I know it's a short preseason this year. I wonder if there's an outside chance, even if it's 10%, that Connor Clattenburg can come in and cause enough chaos that gets Mike Babcock's attention for a sniff early in the season.
Well, he certainly had that type of player in Toronto the last time he coached in the NHL. So it's a good point you make. The last question goes to Slurpee Sean, who texts this in. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I hope you ask Bag Milk the question we all want the answer to. What does Frank think about the rebrand?
Listen, we are going into the 9th season of Frank's Picks. So we've been doing this a long time, he and I. And he's a young man who loves his routine. You know, he likes to get up at the same time. He likes to eat at the same time, and he likes his logos to look the same. But we've had some conversations over the last handful of months, he and I, that there was going to be a big change made. And, you know, while he feels the way a lot of us do, that change can be scary. I think Frank is also excited about the opportunity under Daily Faceoff Edmonton and resuming Frank's Picks under this new horizon and the evolution of ON. So I think he's doing okay, but like a lot of us, you know, Al, it took a minute because change can be scary.
Oh, yeah. You know, and especially when you're, you know, a dog and relying on you for treats, you know.
That is true. I mean, like, we got to make sure that this goes well, because his treat inventory is arguably the most important aspect of my household.
I know that feeling. I ran out yesterday and I had to go get a couple of different kinds, because if you run out of that, pretty soon they start eyeing your plate. So you got to watch it, man. I'm telling you.
That's right. And for a guy like Frank, he's actually quite an athletic dog. And if he stands treats, it won't be long until he ends up in the pantry.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. All right. Thanks for this, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Al.
There you go. Bag Milk from Daily Faceoff Edmonton, and talking to us about what is a very big week over there in their rebranding. And we will obviously wish them the best of luck. On the way, we're going to have more a conversation about whatever you want to talk about at 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Talk a little Elks, and that will come on Declinations at 1:40 as it's Declan CFL. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
What's 426 divided by 12? Okay, if I carry the one, yeah, we're out. Go Auto has a free credit calculator that does the math for you. See what you could qualify for, estimate your payments, and get a better idea of what's in your budget. Because shopping for a vehicle is exciting, but crunching numbers, yeah, not so much. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780 all sevens.
Caesars is Alberta's anytime, anywhere sportsbook. Stay in the action with your favorite teams and players. Whether you're camping, kayaking, or catching a show this summer, bet wherever you are, whenever you want. Plus, Caesars Sportsbook offers fast payouts and flex parlays, a new way to keep your bet alive even if a pick misses. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today.
Must be 18 or older and physically present in Alberta to gamble. Must be 21 or older to use Caesars Sportsbook. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. Please play responsibly.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, Denim Man. Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
School's almost out, and road trip season is just around the corner. But if your brakes sound like they're grinding harder than a hockey fourth liner, it might be time to visit Napa Auto Parts. Napa has all the quality parts, tools, and know-how to help keep your vehicle running smoothly and road ready. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
First pitches, kickoffs, tip-offs. When the game is on, you call the shots. Whether it's a parlay after working all day or a straight bet and straight to bed, Betway has what it takes for you to bet the Edmonton way. So when it's your turn to play the Edmonton way with Betway. Play responsibly. Alberta only. 18+.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Breaking down the fine art of sports, one rep at a time. The Lowdown with Lowetide. Thanks for checking out Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out, wolfgmcbuick.com. It's 1-0 Red Sox over the Blue Jays through one. Blue Jays had second and third with one out. Peyton Tolley, who looks like he's, I'd say, a mid-70s detective show star. Got the big mustache going on there. Comes to work, brings the shovel, brings a great arsenal of pitches. And they're up 1-0 now against Scherzer and the Toronto Blue Jays. We'll keep you updated as the day goes by. This is from Spittin' Chicklets, and I'm stealing it from Daily Faceoff Edmonton, who tweeted it out. From former Edmonton Oilers head coach Dave Tippett, when asked about Connor McDavid. He says, you ask any of the players there, he's a great teammate, really good teammate. He just has to be cognizant of what's going on around him. He'll win someday, I predicted. Well, I think Oiler fans believe he will. They just want it to be in Edmonton. And so does Connor McDavid. I'm of the belief that McDavid is extremely unlikely to sign anywhere else. Draisaitl signed an 8-year deal. I think they want to win. When McDavid talks about winning, it's with the group of guys. And when he talked about Darnell Nurse not being here this year, it was an emotional reaction that he had. So I think Connor McDavid will win a Stanley Cup in Edmonton, and I don't know if it's going to be the next 2 years. I do think legitimately there are some concerns about the young players coming up. Nugent Hopkins is aging out of a skill position. They got Matt Savoy, and I think he's a really good player. Zach Hyman isn't there yet. He's still a very productive player when he's healthy, but I think Isaac Howard could replace him as an offensive player. Savoy has the two-way chops just like Nuge. Hyman is more of a forechecker and a guy who drives to the net. Howard may score his goals differently, but if he's the goal scorer on the top line or the second line, that works. They have to keep going because they have, other players who are aging out, and they have to replace those guys. You can always find a third or fourth line player, but it's those skill guys that are so important. And coming into this year, I was doing the reasonable expectations. It was the first time in some time that I didn't have an older player in that group, whether it be Jeff Skinner or Andrew Mangiapane. There's always an older player, a kind of guy we brought in until the kids are ready. This year, The reasonable expectations are McDavid, Draisaitl, Zach Hyman, Podkolzin, Savoy, and Ike Howard. And I think that's the way it has to work out, because if it doesn't, the Oilers got to go fishing again. And I mean, they were so lucky, man, with Patrick Maroon. That was such a lucky break they got. It doesn't happen everywhere. And if you look at the Oilers over the contract career of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, they brought, they had Pouliot here when they started. Pouliot, for whatever reason, they didn't like the combination there. It didn't work out. Pouliot was flushed. Then they would bring in, Maroon, Lucic, Zach Hyman. They wanted big guys who could do the job and protect McDavid. And then when McDavid and Draisaitl reached a point where they were the aggressors instead of the victims, then they started, adding in smaller skill guys, Yamamoto, Jesse Puljujarvi. And now this is a mature heart of the order in McDavid and Draisaitl. So they can go any way they want. They could go older. They could go younger. A lot of people it's Tarasenko that people want, right, them to sign. And I think that if they weren't confident in Isaac Howard, you might have seen that happen already. Not sure. They also may have something out there. There are teams. Montreal is looking at trading a couple of guys. Not sure about how they're going to go about doing that. Teams aren't done yet. They're not completely done. We could see some activity. And I think from Stan Bowman's point of view, he may want the opportunity for Mike Babcock to get a look at these cats, and then we might see something in November, as has happened in the past. Mark says, hey, LT, super tribute to Peter Marr. Like you, I grew up in southern Alberta and listened to Mr. Marr and Doug Barkley almost nightly. Moving up north, I could still hear QR 77. Adding Mr. Phillips and 630 Ched was another gift. The tapestry those Giants created on air still resonates 45 years later. Beautiful memories. Thanks for Mark. Yeah, I agree. Those are both legendary radio stations. My second program director was a guy named Peter Maller, who worked at QR, and was just Dave Maller. Sorry, he'll kill me. Dave Maller. He did great voice work, but he's also a very kind and good soul. And QR 77 and Ched created many legends in their cities. Certainly Brian Hall would be one that we'd all remember. But top quality broadcasters. Rod Phillips, people a certain age, he is so associated with the Edmonton Oilers. If you read Peter Zosky's wonderful book, Game of Our Lives, Rod is mentioned heavily as being a kind of a poor flyer, along with Wayne Gretzky. They sort of sat together and suffered together. I don't know if that's good or not. If you're on a plane and you're not good with it, maybe you just need the most chill person in the world with a big southern drawl who gets you talking about something that has nothing to do with flying the plane. But they made it work. They won a few Stanley. Oilers need to save their money, accrue cap space, and make a big splash at the trade deadline. Justin of Belgoni, they have so much cap space now, they could, bring in 3 guys. The problem is the rosters now, this coming year, right? The rosters all have to be compliant with the cap. So even if you get a $7 million guy and a $5 million guy, you have to be able to make that work in the postseason. As players dress for a game, it has to be under the cap. Thanks, Tampa Bay Lightning. Jeff Fisher could go 500 if he flipped a coin 10,000 times, Mr. Maris. There was a certain mediocrity. Even his mustache was kind of meh. Are we talking about the dog or Frank Saravalli, from Sean? Well, I think Frank Saravalli likes treats too. Just my opinion. But in this case, we were talking about Frank the dog. Jordan says, Skinner's a Jet, not Ottawa. Yeah, we talked about that. It's sometimes easy to, when it all happens, when it all goes down July 1, we're all, acutely aware of who's going to where, what team. But then, as you get older, the summer slides by. And then in preseason, you're like, how come Ken Hodge is on the New York Rangers? No, that's an old pull, but you know what I mean. There are going to be players showing up for a team somewhere out east. Like, can you name the 23 roster players of Columbus Blue Jackets right now?
I don't think I could name you 11.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think that's a issue of the Columbus Blue Jackets, though. I'm sure if I was dialed in, I probably could do something, but I'm not. So,
well, you've had a busy summer yourself. You've been procuring pretty heavily.
Sure.
Yeah. Everybody's back normal now. Everybody's at home in Calgary, at home up north. You're relaxed. You're getting your sleep, and you've had enough water.
This is all true. I always get enough water. Have you seen the size of my water bottle?
I have. It's
we're almost all back to normal here too. Gregor's off the next 2 weeks, and then we're basically in the.
Gregor's off for 2 weeks.
Yeah, starting next week.
Where do we know where he's going?
No idea.
Okay. He usually has pretty interesting trips. So,
And then I think Tom's gone next week.
I still don't know how Gregor does 4 hours a day. Like 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's a lot, man. And he does a lot of other things too.
Mm-hmm. Busy guy.
Energy level, man. 4 hours of radio, talk radio. I used to work 4 hours on the air, but I was playing, 4-minute disco songs. It's a lot. 2 hours is a lot. You can't stay awake when I'm talking.
This is currently hour 7 for me, Al.
Yeah, but you're just over there playing
Nope.
solitaire on your computer.
Mm-mm.
What are you doing right now?
Well, right now I'm currently having a conversation with you.
No, but what are you in front of your screen? If I went over there, is it are you playing Mahjong?
No,
Is
you
there
would
a
see
little
timestamps, Steve McNair's football reference page, our StreamYard, and like The Athletic.
Okay. "29 seconds ago from Underdog MLB, which is a great site to follow. It's a gambling site, I think, but they give you updates on who's what all the time. Who's starting, who got scratched, that kind of thing. Tigers beat the Guardians 3-0 on Thursday, recording 0 strikeouts. First time since 2014 that a team has allowed 0 runs without striking out a single opposing batter.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that really is amazing.
Did it tell you who the last team was that did that?
It just says 2014.
Mm.
I know, which is kind of, you'd think maybe they did follow it up. Let me check. I will make one click for you.
The Pirates are absolutely crushing the Marlins right now. Bottom of the 9th, they're up 13-1. They have the Pirates have 16 hits. The Marlins have 3. That's brutal.
Marlins have gotten themselves into a little bit of a hole. The Pirates are losing games too, though, lately.
Yeah.
So, some of these teams after the deadline, they've been falling off pretty badly. Are we having a sneezy waters over there, or
this has been this is a bad look for the for the Pirates. They got shelled yesterday 8-2 by the Marlins. Like they're 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're counting.
They're 8-2 in their last 10. Soon to be 2-8 in their last 10.
Yeah.
Thank you, Connor. Soon to be 3-7.
Yeah. It's not great.
With some really ugly losses on the board. And then a 9-0 win against the Mets.
Ashcraft was pitching for the Pirates, and it was a Tyler Phillips for the Marlins.
Let me just go back to the current game. Ashcraft, yeah, he's still going too.
Yeah.
8 2/3.
Well, they'll let him finish that out.
Yeah, I think he must be just throwing a complete game. He's got 10 Ks. But the starter was Phillips for Miami.
I don't want to own his line. It can't be pretty.
Nope. 6 hits, 4 runs, all 4 of which were earned. But he did get 6 Ks and he only gave up 1 home run.
Northside Adam, look what I found in my dad's old clothes. It's an old Payarvi jersey. That's pretty cool, man. That's not that you'd sell it, but you would definitely get some money if you did. Has anybody named a dog Lowetide yet? From Andrew, I'm sure they have. You know, just be kind to the dog if you call it any name. That's the only thing I care about.
Be kind to the dog.
It just drives me crazy when people are cruel to dogs.
It's honestly like it's one of the most unforgivable things ever.
I agree totally.
When you see someone like being like abusive to a dog in public, you're like, whoa, what did that thing do to you?
Right. And it's a dog. Like we are put on the planet to look after all the living things. And dogs are the most loyal. You can't, even when you're awful to them, they still love you. And so there's a responsibility. I know I'm preaching to the choir. Everybody is good to their dog.
Well, not everybody, or else we wouldn't have had.
Well, I know, but I mean, everybody
choir.
listening is good to the dog.
I hope so.
My dog, honestly. Ziggy's like 15 in about a month. And like, I'm the employee.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, where's the treats?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you ate that whole sandwich? You know?
How dare you?
Exactly. I'm assuming you made that for me. Stuff like that. And the look is the same.
You owe her a piece of crust from that sandwich.
That's true. The look of disdain from my dog, who is a Shih Tzu Pom, like, it's authentic. It really, you can tell she's like, I was blessed with you.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that go? You know? And she's 15 now, so she takes no crap from anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay, on the way, it's Declanations talking Canadian Football League. The Elks have a chance here. Man, win this weekend. You set up beautifully for the back-to-back Labor Day weekend games against the Calgary Stampeders. And winning the division, hosting a playoff game is possible. That's how good the Elks are this year. That's on the way with Declan. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
Mr. Rooter cries like a little tiny baby child.
Hey, Mr. Rooter, you've got a package from Mrs. Rooter.
Aw, the card says, thank you for our unbreakable bond. You're the Pro Press fitting to my copper pipe.
Ooh, what's in the package, Mr. Rooter?
Let's see. It's a Plumbus 2000 spud wrench. She knew I'd never buy one for myself.
Just like tears. It's flowing or it's free with Mr. Rooter.
I love that woman.
You don't just need property services. You need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Krueger for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Not sure what wheels fit your vehicle? Evolve Wheels and Tires gives you honest advice from enthusiasts who know fitment inside and out. Whether it's your truck, SUV, or sports car, they have you covered. Evolve Wheels and Tires, Edmonton's premium wheel specialists. Evolve your ride. Evolve your experience.
Yeah, it's me again. And if you're sidelined with a sports injury, you already know nothing's more frustrating than being told to just rest. At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we get athletes moving sooner with our zero-gravity treadmills. You can run, train, and rebuild strength with up to 80% less body weight, so your injury heals while your confidence comes roaring back. When your sports injury's yelling, whisper back, leadingedgephysio.com, because life shouldn't hurt.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees at participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, Denim Man. Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
Feeling overwhelmed by debt? Concerned about what the next few weeks or months will bring for your finances? My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. You don't have to navigate this alone. Together, we can review your options and build a personalized plan to reduce your payments and get you out of debt, so you can breathe again. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book your free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
He's the only person to win an arm wrestling contest with the Philly Fanatic. The Lowdown with Lowetide, now on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. 144, we're a little late for declinations. By the way, Boston up 1-0 over the Blue Jays, who are liking the pop-up today. It is time for declinations, brought to you by the Edmonton Elks. Kick off the second half of the season with a 5-game ticket pack and get $25 voucher. Get your half-season pass today. GoElks.com/tickets. Edmonton Elks, our city, our year. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Declan Krueger.
Yeah. Before we get into some CFL, I was reading the text line, and Montana to Rice, he texted in and he said, Declan, sad news about Prashard Colon. So I just wanted to touch on this quickly. Prashard Colon was a boxer, and he died today. He was 33.
Oh, dear.
But he was involved in a really famous kind of case, if you will. When he was 23 years old, he fought a guy named Terrell Williams, took a lot of rabbit punches to the back of the head. After the fight, he went back in his dressing room, collapsed. Was in a coma for 221 days.
Oh, my God.
When he woke up, he was a permanent vegetable, never regained his speech, couldn't move. He was obviously bound to a chair. Really sad because a lot of what happened in the fight with the rabbit punches, like the ref never really addressed it. It was avoidable. But he lived for the last 10, 11 years because he would have been 34 this year, just in that vegetative state, never regaining any of his mobility or ability to talk or anything like that, obviously. And he passed away today. So really, really sad stuff for sure. And like anyone who knows about boxing knows about the Prashard Colon case because it was such a famous case of just, the dangers of rabbit punches and, how involved the commission needs to be and medicals and stuff like that. But yeah, like I 23 years old, like young.
Terrible.
Young.
And, it's always those smaller guys. Like the big guys knock each other out, right?
Yep.
But it's those little, the smaller fighters.
There's no question about it. And this one though, like this one was really specifically the rabbit punches, like the ones to the back of the head that are obviously illegal and shouldn't be a thing. But just really, really, really sad stuff. So may he rest in peace. But I'm glad Montana to Rice texted that in because I'm sure I wouldn't have mentioned it otherwise. But glad to bring some attention to it.
That,
yeah. Shout out MTR. Now, as far as the Elks go this weekend, let's start with the injury report. Kenny Logan and Tamari Fox, but Kenny Logan not trending to play. It looks like he is really, really versatile at that Sam position. Now, what Gregor had made reference to on his show yesterday is that Therese Reed is going to be coming in off the practice squad to play that Sam linebacker position. I love Therese Reed in camp. I loved what he was able to do, but I loved what he was able to do at I'm sorry, the text line just caught my eye. Someone called me Donovan. Brandon called me Donovan. That was Declan, by the way. This is just
I'm confused.
Way to fire me up here. But he was a guy I loved playing half. I don't think he's really built. Sam. Yeah, I don't think he's really built for the Sam. He's listed at 5'10", 187. So we all know that means he's 5'8", 170. And he's a great tackler, but he's better in coverage. And if I was the Elks, what I would have thought they would have done is you either move Cordell Jackson, who likes playing the Sam. I talked to him about this at the end of last season. He said that's his favorite position to play. He's played it a lot. He's very good at it. I would have moved him down to that Sam linebacker position. I would have put Therese in there at defensive half. And granted, the depth chart hasn't come out yet, and there's still a day of walkthrough, so they may very well do this. Who knows? Or what I would have done is bring Chalon Garnes down to that down to that Sam linebacker position because he's played there as well. I like Therese Reed's game a lot. I think for the Sam to be a Sam, you just need to be a little bit bigger. If you're looking to bring a guy off the practice squad, I would maybe look at Ladarius Tennyson, who also is probably more of a natural defensive halfback, but is just a bit bigger and I think a bit more suited to playing that Sam linebacker position. So it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes up when we get the depth chart.
Let me ask you though,
yes.
They can check down during the game.
Of course. But it's like if you have to check down at some point during the game and switch things up, to me that always kind of implies, like you made the wrong decision. You know what I mean? Like that is probably a little too harsh.
Is there a ratio reason they would do it this way?
Well, both these guys are Americans. So like them coming in, neither of them are designated Americans or nationalized Americans, I should say. So them coming in wouldn't affect it in that sense. The other guy who it looks like is going to draw in for Tamari Fox, according to Jason's show yesterday, is Carmine Bastone. Defensive lineman, played at Northwestern, 6'2", 300. Really prototypical defensive tackle size. Good. I watched him in camp a little bit, not as intently as some of the other positions. But for a guy his size, he's really quick out of his 3-point stance is something I really noticed. He stays low when he fires. So that'd be something to look at. Interesting note from Brian Desjardins' game day articles. The Edmonton Elks have won 8 consecutive games when Justin Rankin runs for over 100 yards. And he touched the ball.
Maybe do that.
I would love if they did that. I think you're absolutely right, LT. He touched the ball 7 times last game for 62 yards, ran the ball very, very well, but they got away from it in the second half. And I understand some of that is you're playing catch up, but like the rushing game has to be there. You have a really dynamic back, and he was running the ball incredibly successful. So this is a team you shouldn't have to play catch up against in Toronto. It is a team where you should be able to get into a bit more of a flow offensively. And I think as such, he needs to touch the ball 20 to 23 times. And listen, whether or not he gets past the 100-yard mark, like that's not something we can predict within the frame of a game plan, but he needs to get the touches to have the opportunity to do so. And then the final thing I would say, and I've said this a few times this week, and maybe we'll talk about it more if we do a little bit more of a game day preview. Toronto, I think, can be beaten in a lot of different areas. Like Montreal, they're the best team in the CFL, full credit to them. We've seen you in a lot of ways need to play a perfect game to beat them. Saskatchewan, you obviously did beat them, and I think they have a few more warts than Montreal, but they're obviously a top tier team as well. You got to get up to snide to beat them. Toronto, I think there are a few different ways you can take advantage of this team. I think you can run against them. I think you can pass against them. And they had some injury issues, I believe. I don't think Robert Priester is going to be going in this one, so that should open up the passing game for Edmonton. And then the other one, like if you get, and maybe the biggest one, Chad Kelly loves to throw the ball to the other team. He does it a lot.
Yeah, he's very high.
Yeah, like if you get pressure in his face, he's going to climb the pocket and throw a 6-inch tuna sub with extra mayo from Subway. So get in his face. This is a really highly paid defensive line who I think maybe hasn't always lived up to the billing of what they're getting paid. But if there was ever a quarterback to make uncomfortable because he's so mistake prone, and listen, he can air it out too and score. Like he'll do that as well. But with how mistake prone he is, get pressure on Chad Kelly because I think he will make mistakes.
I think that's a great, and in the CFL, like a high degree of games are won. NFL too. Like if you're giving up too many turnovers, you're never going to win a ball game. And having that high event quarterback can be really a big problem, and they do for sure.
Absolutely, they do. I'm excited for this one though. It's a can't lose. I've put it in my can't lose category.
So I like that because we can come back Monday and go can't lose. But I think they'll end up winning.
I do too. Yeah. I think they're a better team.
It'd be nice to have a really big crowd. What would a crowd have to be to impress you?
25K.
Okay.
25K. I think that does it. Now, are they going to get 25K? I think a lot of it's going to be weather dependent.
Yeah,
it's obviously
walk-up city, man.
Yeah, they got like 32 against Saskatchewan. That's Saskatchewan, so it's a little bit, different opponent coming in, but I think that should be the benchmark for this franchise. And also just like with the population of the city and surrounding area. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Somebody sent me their 5 dogs photo. Did you see that?
I did not.
Okay. If there was a way we could get that out on Twitter, I'd love it. Eddie Cheddar says, "Hey, Tide, we have a Quigley, an Olive, an Aoife, and a Caper. They're just like, I think these
Beautiful dogs.
Well, they are, but I think they probably are complete troublemakers together. Like, I can see these for every day doing hijinks, and then Eddie out there going, guys, this siding is supposed to last 25 years. You've ripped it off the side of the house. I mean, I just get the look from that, you know. All right. On the way, Jason Krueger, he's going to talk about running the ball with Rankin based on what I read about on Twitter. Okay. Thanks so much for tuning into the Lowdown. Please enjoy your day. And we're back tomorrow with Lansky.
Brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. For your next move in the Edmonton or area, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. Reds lead the White Sox 9-7 in the bottom of the 8th. Mariners up on the Yankees 1-0 in the bottom of the 7th. And the Toronto Blue Jays playing their game right now. They trail the Boston Red Sox 1-0 as the top of the 4th is set to get going. In about 10 minutes, we'll see the Cubs and Nats, Phillies and Twins at 5:30. And 2 finals from earlier saw the Pirates crushing the Marlins 13-1, while the Tigers got over the Guardians 3-0. WNBA schedule, we'll see the Dream and the Sun getting the action going today at 5 o'clock. The Sparks and Liberty at 6 in a marquee matchup. And then at 8 o'clock, the Washington Mystics and Las Vegas Aces. CFL Week 11 will get going today at 7 o'clock. BC and Calgary. Stamps playing host to the Lions and enter that one as a 3.5-point favorite. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 Up.